real busy. Haven't gone on YouTube much lately. Got a few little cards to show off, and then if people want to hop in, say what's up. I know it's Monday morning. Hopefully, not everybody has a case of the Mondays. I'm lucky I have Monday off, so it's like my Saturday. But come Wednesday, I'll be in the same boat you guys are in, and then you'll be laughing at me talking about it's hump day. Anyway, I went, as you guys know, I went on vacation to Mexico. But anyways, that's not even the point here. I guess the point is, hey, what's up, Mike? The point is, my birthday was on, I think it was Saturday, and my wife got me a blaster box. So I wanted to show off what she got. She got me a 2019 Topps Chrome, not the Topps Chrome update, but the regular Topps Chrome blaster box. Real sweet of her. And I pulled one nice rookie, and that was the Fernando Tatis Jr. rookie card. So that was cool. Then I got a few other interesting cards in the box I figured I'd show off to you guys. I know the Padres, they got a lot of young talent. So I got the, what is it, Luis Urias right there. What's up, Canadian cards? And then this one's cool. I got the Sepia Refractor of Justin Verlander. That's a cool card right there. And then, here, I'm going to do it like this. I got a Noah Syndergaard 84 Topps Look Refractor. And I would have busted this live, except I wanted to bust it, open it up with my wife. She had fun watching me open the packs. We got Christian Yelich. And he could have been an MVP had he not gotten injured. Of course, my favorite Giant, position player Giant at least, Buster Posey. Hopefully in 2020 he'll have more offense. And then a Giants fan favorite, however, this card doesn't feature him in a Giants uniform, Superman. Kevin Pillar. Really cool card there. That's, what is it? Whatever I guess it's a purple refractor, numbered to 299. That's a cool card. And then we got the snake skin refractor, I call it. I don't know exactly what this pattern's called anymore, but Noah Syndergaard. That one's cool. And that's about it. I mean, you know, some other cool cards here. I don't want to show everything off that I pulled. And then I also got a mail day from Big Harv. He had won that. I had done some kind of giveaway. I don't remember what it was, but I sent him out a bunch of cards, and I guess he wanted to hit me back. He won the giveaway. So here's the note from Big Harv. It says, Nate, here are some cards that I thought you might like. I know there are no way I could add to the Bonds PC. Yeah, it's pretty hard for people to add to the Bonds PC. The other cards are from a response video for Mike Baseball Collector. That's right. So he sent me a bunch of cards, a bunch of Giants cards. I won't show off everything he sent me. And then I'll show you a few of the highlights that came my way, including those cards. He was kind of making fun of me a little bit, but it's all good, man. We got Will Clark. That's a cool card, the 59 Topps Look. Love that card. And then a couple of cool Buster Posies as well. But the cards that he was talking about for Mike Baseball Collector's response video, I guess I don't even remember what the contest was, but he made a couple of silly custom cards. That's a game use syringe. It's just a piece of paper that he printed it on his computer. But I thought that was funny. These will end up in my YouTube PC binder. And then this one with the, what does that say on the top? Balco. So very funny, Big Harv. Ha ha ha. And then he sent me a custom card he made. So those will end up in the YouTube PC binder. And that's it for pickup show-offs. I did record a video this morning for some other stuff I picked up with a little bit of a topic. I'll be uploading that video in a couple of days. But figured I'd just go on live here, check in with everybody. Not that people are going to be watching on a Monday morning. Everybody's probably at work. If you're at work, get back to work. Stop watching me. But here, I'll try to look at the comments, see if there's anything here. So we got Mike, what's that? Buyer, Sports Fan 316. What's up, guys? Canadian Cards. Sports Fan 316 says Dynasty and Flawless Baseball come out next week. So that's some high-end stuff for you guys to look forward to. What looks like a Topps and a Panini product, both. Pulsar refractor. Okay, so and then the Yaz rookie this year is my favorite. Oh yeah, the Carl Yastrzemski rookie card. I forgot about him. He had a great season with the Giants. He can't not Carl Yastrzemski, Mike Yastrzemski. He had a great season with the Giants, and what did he hit, like 21 home runs or something like that? Just awesome. Really gave the Giants some hope for the future, along with like players like pickups, Kevin Pillar, like I talked about, aka Superman. I know Toronto fans love him. San Francisco Giants fan love him. He is definitely a fan favorite kind of guy. Lots of hustle, lots of heart, and just a great ball player. Funny story about Kevin Pillar. Early in the season, maybe 1 month into the season, Kevin Pillar had a lower on-base percentage than batting average. And somebody had pointed that out to me, and I was like, that's impossible. How is it possible that someone can have a lower batting average and on-base percentage? And I started thinking about it, and I'm like, well, obviously he hadn't walked at all. And then I said, well, I wonder if you get a single, if you hit a single, and then get thrown out trying to advance to second base on the single, if that counts as a plus towards your batting average and a negative towards your on-base percentage. And I did a little bit of research, and voila, that's what happened. Kevin Pillar got thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double, hadn't walked at all, so therefore his batting average was higher than his on-base percentage. It was kind of a statistical anomaly, and every time I know how I discovered it. It's because when he came up to bat, you know how a lot of times they'll throw the season statistics on the screen, and I was like, wait, his batting average is 200 and his on-base percentage is 190? How is that possible? And so then that's kind of how that came about. So I thought that was kind of an interesting statistical anomaly from earlier in the year. I love baseball and the rules and the nuances, and that's why I had to investigate that. So I'll go on and read more comments here. So let's see. So it looks like a lot of you guys are chatting amongst each other. You're covering all your. So Sports Fan 316 asks, would you be willing to do a video covering all your game use cards? Trust me, I would be willing to watch it if it were more than 30 minutes. I guess I haven't done that. I didn't realize. I mean, I would probably take more than one video unless I only did my Barry Bonds. I could probably do that on one video, maybe. I don't know. And then, hey all, and Max Power Baseball. Hey Nate, how are you doing? Oh yeah, thank you, Max. Max, were you able to make it to that show in Berkeley? I was thinking about everybody that might be at that show in Berkeley on Saturday. I didn't make it out. I just didn't feel like driving out to Berkeley, to be honest, and going to a card show. I ended up having a good time on my birthday. I hung out with my buddy Eric, and then I hung out with my wife, which worked out good. I didn't have to sit in the car for half the day. So, so Mike says, I think the better question is, could Nate fabricate a full jersey from what he owns? The answer to that is no, but it's kind of fun to think about. And if you guys watch my videos, you know my opinion on jersey cards, I mean, who knows where the relic comes from on jersey cards? You can never really be too sure. So Max, how was the show? Hopefully you picked up some good stuff. I know a bunch of people I know are at that show. Oh, okay, you're going to be making a video. Okay, so I'll have to check that out. Okay, so that's cool. And then Art Rios, awesome pickups. Always love your vids. Glad I could actually catch one of me live. Yeah, normally I wouldn't go live on a Monday morning, but I'm just I'm relaxed now. I went on vacation, I'm relaxed. I actually got a few pickups. I showed a few off here, but I am going to be uploading a video later this week with the cream of the crop pickups that I got. Some cards I'm real excited about. So I'll be showing those off on a later video of Beltran being. So, Sports Fan 316 says, how do I feel about Carlos Beltran being the Mets manager? And that's a great question. I don't know too much about Carlos Beltran's knowledge on baseball. Obviously, it has to be real good. He's bilingual, so you can't go wrong with a bilingual manager in today's game, especially if it's English and Spanish or Japanese and English. No, yeah, English and Japanese or English and Spanish are I mean, you can't go wrong if you're a manager and you can be bilingual. We'll see how it works out. I think that it's good to see new managers being in the game, people that haven't managed before. And yeah, Beltran, we'll see how he does. So the Mets are an interesting team. I'm not really a New York fan, so I don't have a huge opinion. Okay, so Bowman, 1951. Okay, he's talking to Lou Rock. Canadian cards. Maybe talking about ball players. I know there's a lot of side conversations. I'm trying to read all your guys' comments here. That's why I'm kind of mumbling here. Phelps, plus he played for both Cubs. Yes, so people are commenting on their thoughts on Beltran. Best former player to coach. So, I mean, who is the best former player to coach? I don't know. There's been a lot of great managers. I mean, you know, Bruce Bochy was a player. He was a great manager. I don't know if you guys are talking about managers or coaches. Of course, Joe Torre. He actually won a batting title. People don't realize Joe Torre won a batting title. He was a great ball player. And of course, the manager for the Yankees during their dynasty in the late 90s, early 2000s. Oh, Garrett, yeah. I know that New York guys want Garrett Cole. That would be interesting. Hey, what's up, Cardman64? I guess you are excited to have Joe Panic. Where did Joe Panic end up? God, I can't remember. But anyways, I know that he's your favorite ball player. At least he was a few. You haven't made any Joe Panic pickup update videos, but nevertheless, what's up? What is your channel's favorite card? Your cheapest favorite card? Oh my God! Art Rios wants to know what is my favorite cheapest card in my collection. It just depends on what mood I'm in. I got a lot of great favorite cheap cards in my collection. I like a lot of the so-called junk wax cards. Some of the oddball junk wax cards might be my favorite cheapest card in my collection, but who knows? I don't know. So Sports Fan 316 is counting the days to next season. He can't stand football. Yeah, football definitely is. I see this is not. A lot of baseball guys don't like football. And Canadian Card says I think his favorite cheap card is a 65 Don Mossy. And if you guys aren't familiar with that card, my suggestion is to go on eBay and search 1965 Topps Don Mossy, and you will see why someone would like that card. It is a fantastically hideous card. It's so hideous that it's fantastic. That's about all I got to say about that card. Somebody else likes a 1990 Topps Griffey. That is a classic card. I do like that blue border with the All-Star Cup, Topps All-Star Cup or Topps All Rookie Cup. And then Canadian Card says bingo, talking about the Don Mossy card, I'm assuming. Sports Fan 316. My favorite that I have is a Steven Strasburg that my wife bought me a few years ago for $12, and now it's tripled in value. Yes, I imagine Steven Strasburg cards are doing really well right now. I know there's a guy that makes videos here, and I've been thinking about him lately because about 2 years ago he bought that Steven Strasburg first Bowman Chrome Superfractor that originally sold for like $20,000 or $25,000 back in 2010, 2011. And I wonder what that card would sell for now. I think he said he picked it up for like $4,000 or something. I mean, that card plummeted, but I bet you it would do pretty well right now, especially because Strasburg you could argue, had the best season of any National Leaguer, and of course he won the World Series. So Bowman 51, Bowman 51 Sports likes 87 Donruss, or talking about 87 Donruss. 90 Bernie Williams rookie. Yeah, those classic 90s and late 80s rookies, I could totally see why people would choose that as their favorite inexpensive card in their collection. So Cardman says Panic became a free agent after playing for the Mets. Okay, I knew he moved to New York for the remainder of the season. They offered him a AAA contract. He declined. Yeah, I mean, the problem with Joe Panic, defensively, he's still a wizard, but offensively, he just doesn't bring anything to the table. And the league is so offensively oriented now. And the shift is so prevalent. I don't know that defense outweighs offense as much as it would maybe in a more pitcher-dominant era. So Panic, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if he can recover and get a job in the big leagues again. But he's definitely a fan favorite in San Francisco. He was part of 2 of the 3 World Series teams and made it absolutely spectacular play. I believe it was in the 2012, maybe the 2014 World Series. I can't remember. But he made a fantastic play. So I hope card goes up in value. So people are talking about Strasburg cards. All right, this has got to be bullshit. It says David Cone is a Yankees' new hitting coach. Of course, I think Sports Fan 316 probably meant to say pitching coach. And I remember hearing about David Cone coming back into the game. I'm sure he's a pitching coach. And Canadian Cardman, I have the Panic Clear variant from 2018 Topps. I bet you, what is the hottest Panic card? Is it the... I bet you it's that Topps Living card from 2018 when Panic was in like that first, I think he was in like the first couple of series. But I know that those early Topps Living cards sell for a premium just because there are set collectors out there. Anyways. Is Mike Yaz a big deal in the Bay Area? Canadian Cards wants to know. Absolutely. He is a huge fan favorite. Interesting fact about Mike Yastrzemski. I don't think his cards are ever really going to be worth that much because he is like about 28 years old. And he actually debuted with the Giants, which fascinates me because he came from the Baltimore Orioles, an absolute horrible franchise. How could the Baltimore Orioles not bring up Mike Yastrzemski? And I mean, the guy hit 21 home runs in San Francisco. San Francisco is the most challenging ballpark to hit a home run in. So you got a guy sitting in Baltimore that plays in a more offensive favorable ballpark on a horrible team, and he's 28 years old. So I mean, how did the guy not break into the big leagues till he was 28? I don't get it, but I am so glad that the Giants have him. And if they can get, I mean, at 28, he's probably going to play maybe 5 to 7 really good seasons if he can continue on the path that he was on in 2018, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, absolutely fascinating that Mike Yastrzemski never played in the big leagues till he got to the Giants, and I don't really think the Giants even had many expectations from Mike Yastrzemski. I think he surprised the heck out of everybody. So anyways, Yeah, but absolutely. Thanks for asking. That kind of got me talking about him a little bit. Um, so, anyways, I'm just going back, reading some of your comments. So, what's up, Ray from Philly? See you're in here. Ron Fig, what's up, man? How you doing? Think Blue 77's in here. Okay, and then and Chapman got re-signed for 3 years, 80 million. Wow. Chapman, wow, I can't believe that he got 3 years, $80 million. I mean, the problem with Chapman is, well, I guess he did okay with the Cubs in 2016, but I don't know that he's just not as clutch as you want him to be in the postseason. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I think if the Yankees were to manage Chapman correctly, they wouldn't use him as much. I think Chapman wears out pretty easily, and that's why, I don't know, he's just not as durable as other closers. So, any other topics you guys want to talk about here? Aren't you guys supposed to be at work? It's Monday. Probably a lot of you guys are on lunch break. What up, eh? So, Josh. Okay, so SportsFan316 asks a really good question. How do I feel about the Josh Hamilton situation? Well, I think it's super sad what has happened to Josh Hamilton. And if you guys aren't familiar with Josh Hamilton, I'll dig into a little bit of the history. I'll do a brief history of Josh Hamilton and who he was, what he was, and where he is today. But a brief history is he was a number 1 overall draft pick in 1998 or 1999 with the Tampa Bay Rays, and just an absolute unbelievable talent. He had the talent of a first ballot Hall of Famer, and early on in his minor league career, he hurt himself. I don't exactly remember what the injury was, but it was an injury that kept him out of baseball for more than a year. It may have been a back injury or a leg injury, or I can't exactly remember, but because he got injured and it was like around 2000 or 99 or 2000, 2001, somewhere one of those years, back then the medical community didn't realize how catastrophic opioids were. And so he was prescribed opioids to treat his injury, to manage the pain. And because opioids are so addictive, Josh Hamilton got addicted to opioids. And of course, that led to the demise of him in the early 2000s. And he was pretty much strung out on drugs until 1996. He cleaned himself up and got and then the Reds picked him up. He broke into the majors, kind of did really well, and then he ended up going to Texas and was an absolute dominant ball player. There is a 2-year span where Josh Hamilton was the best player in the American League. There's no doubt in my mind. Offensively, he was the best player in the American League. He cleaned himself up and was doing real well. He was a great example for people that were trying to stay off of drugs and alcohol. And then slowly but surely, there was an incident here, kind of slipped, an incident there, kind of slipped. And by, after maybe 5 or 6 years in the league, he was washed up. He couldn't play ball anymore. And then, so the most recent development, and he's, just had horrible time with drugs and alcohol. But the most recent development is he got arrested for child abuse. And it's just super sad because obviously the child abuse is a result of his drug and alcohol addiction. And it's sad. I mean, it's very sad. I feel bad for his family. I feel bad for his children. I feel bad for Josh. It's too bad that he can't stay sober. And, what are you going to do? You know, you see it happen. You've seen it happen with all other great ball players, other potential first ballot Hall of Famers like Darryl Strawberry. You saw it happen with Dwight Gooden and a host of other great ball players. So Hamilton is not the first one that has had this problem, and it's just too bad. And that's my thoughts. That's a brief history on Hamilton. Had he not had a horrible substance abuse problem, I think he would have easily been a first ballot Hall of Famer. He had the talent of an Albert Pujols or a Mickey Mantle, or just whatever era. Name that era. He had that talent. He would have been the greatest of his generation. He would have been the Mike Trout of his generation, which would have been about 10 years prior to Trout. He would have been right there with Albert Pujols. So anyway, just really, really, really sad. So anyway, yes, Sports Fan 316, he did turn himself in. I think Hamilton wants to do the right thing but can't. But maybe him turning himself in was his way of at least not making things worse. So, any other topics you guys want to talk about? The great questions, by the way, giving me a lot of fuel for this live feed here on a Monday morning in early November 2019. So, anyway. Hot Corner Collection. Hey, what's up? How are you doing? He says he thought about baseball collector. He actually made a video with the similar thoughts to mine on the Josh Hamilton situation. So if you guys haven't seen Mike Baseball Collector's video, I would recommend you watch it. It's actually very well thought out. It's a good video. Mike, you're here. What's up, buddy? So that's funny that happens to be here. So Canadian Cards wants to know, am I going to Atlantic City? That's a fantastic question. And I am not sure. It's only November. I probably will be making the decision between January and February. That's typically, if I do go to the National, that's typically when I make plans. I'll certainly have enough vacation time. But right now I'm in kind of a transitional state in my life. I'm looking to change careers, and actually January is when I plan on making my move. And we'll see how that goes. I'm 47 years old now, so it is absolutely frightening to, at least for me, it's frightening to make a career change, but I think it's something that I have to do because I'm not very happy at work right now. And that's another reason why I had talked earlier on this live feed, why I haven't been picking up a ton of cards lately. Anyway, so let's see what else. Chance of being... I don't know about Josh Hamilton being blacklisted. Who knows? I mean, the community, there are a lot of people that have empathy for people with drug problems and a lot of people that have zero tolerance. So just it just depends on people, on, how they view it. So, baseball collector, he's gonna throw in a free bash for everyone. Canadian collector, excuse me. It's throwing a free bash. I assume you're going to Atlantic City. Man, I'm telling you, 2019 in Chicago was an absolute blast. If I go, I definitely have to strategize my time a little bit better, because at the National this year, I was literally exhausted the whole time. And half the time I was like a zombie and I didn't even know what was going on. I wasn't able to comprehend everything that was going on. All I know is it was a lot of fun and I met a lot of people. But half the time I was just out of it. I was just so tired. I mean, I think I slept on average about 3 hours a day. And I made the mistake of not putting myself in a position to get enough sleep before my first day there. So if I go, and this is a little bit of advice, guys, for people that are going to the National, based on my experience this year, and actually I didn't learn from my experience in 2017, but make sure you give yourself enough sleep before your first day there so that you can have the mental capacity to enjoy your experience a little bit more and talk with people and meet up with everyone. And so Canadian card, his first national was this past year. And so you went to probably the best one yet. I mean, attendance wise, it was huge. And it's funny. It's like, I'm just thinking about it. It's November. And here we are talking about the national from 2019. August, September, October. Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 months ago is when it was. So Jeff is counting down the days to 2020. Sensory overload, absolutely. And any other topics you guys want to talk about? Obviously, we could talk about the national all day. I have to decide what I'm going to do. This year I may not be able to go, especially if I make a career change. So we'll see what happens. So, yep. Yes, Ron, it was amazing, and it was awesome meeting you, along with Hot Corner and everybody else there. God, I did meet a lot of people, man, now that I think about it. I made a list and did a recap video, and I know that I forgot, after I did the video, I know I forgot at least 10 or 15 people on that list, which was like, oh yeah, okay, I forgot about this guy and that guy, and oh, I didn't know he was a YouTuber. So Baseball Collector says, I might go next year. Yeah, you and Julie are both going next year. I know that for a fact. So Vintage Oddball Cards. Nate, big Giants fan here, living in the Bay Area. Do you have any Joey Bart cards? So what's up, Vintage Oddball Cards? I don't remember if I ever see you ever comment on my videos or hop in, so welcome to the live feed, and thanks for introducing yourself. And the answer about Joey Bart is I do have a couple of Joey Bart cards, and they were actually given to me by Hot Corner Collection, who gave me a giant box of cards at the National. And when I got home, I was sifting through them, and there were a couple of Joey Bart cards in there. So those are the only ones I have. But yeah, I do. I think 2 of them. And then here we go, Sportsfan 316. I would have been going to the National because it's right next to the woods, but moved to Texas. Okay. Yeah, Texas. You're gonna have to do some traveling if you want to go to the National. So we got Near Mint. What is that? Near Mint. Musings. Musings. Near Mint Musings. Okay, so you are a new... I've never seen you comment either, so what's up? Welcome to the live feed. Thanks for hopping in and saying hi. Okay, so Baseball Collector met Vintage Oddball Cards. Okay, maybe I did meet you, Rick. I don't know. I mean, man, I know there's so many people that were there, and like I said, I was half out of it for most of the time. I didn't know what was going on. I just kept running into people, and it's just like I was so out of it. It literally took me probably about 6 weeks to mentally recover from that show. I was just so... I got fried, man. I mean, sleeping 2 hours a day for a week straight catches up to you, especially when you're used to getting 6 to 8 hours. I'm not one of those people that can survive on 2 hours of sleep per day. Anyway, Griffey16 says, never been to a National, maybe next year. If you go, it'll be fun. Ray from Philly, it's only an hour drive, so I know Ray will be there. And then is Ray, are you going to bring Ray as well? I'm sure he'd have a blast looking at all the... I know there's a lot of vintage out in the East Coast, so... Oh, okay, right on. So, if you look... I don't know, vintage is king in my opinion, by the way. Vintage, and I did make a video earlier today that I will be uploading a few days from now, but just to kind of... For people that are in here now there's like 23 people in here. So the topic of my video, or one of the things I talked about, is what is the golden age of inserts? And for me, I'm a huge insert fan from the 90s through the early to mid 2000s. So I define my opinion on the golden age of inserts, but I'm not going to get on that too much here because I don't want to ruin that video. What's up, Aaron? How you doing? My brother. Oh, guys, I got to share this awesome story. Aaron just kind of sparked my memory of, what was it, October 30th, the Game 7 of the World Series. I ended up going to work that day, and I had to work till 9 o'clock Pacific time, which is 12 o'clock Eastern time. And so obviously there's no way I can watch the World Series. The World Series starts at 5 o'clock, and it was over by 9 o'clock. I knew that that was going to happen. But I was alone in the showroom that I was working at. And I knew nobody was going to be there because we were dealing with the fire situation. Half the city was still under evacuation. And then, of course, the World Series. And, it's just late. It's getting darker earlier. There's all kinds of factors. And I'm like, I'm just sitting here babysitting the store, right? So I get into my car and I put my car in a position where I can be right there at the front door, looking at the front door. So if someone does walk in, I can get out of my car and go into the store. And I'm sitting there listening to Game 7, probably starting around the third or fourth inning. Then I get a call from my brother Snoop, 12922. And of course, you guys know he's a big Washington Nationals fan. And so Snoop and I are sitting there watching the game. Well, Snoop's watching the game, and I'm listening to it on the radio. And then Aaron Davis calls Snoop, and of course, Snoop's like, I can't answer that because his phone doesn't let you connect. So then I'm like, okay, I'm going to call Aaron now once he hangs up. So we call Aaron, and it's me, Aaron, and Snoop on the phone. I'm listening to the game. They're watching the game. And I'm telling you, this community came through. It was like hanging out. Well, it was hanging out with my two best friends on the phone. I'm listening to the game. They're watching the game, and we're just having the time of our lives. So that worked out great. That is a unique World Series Game 7 experience for me. Not only was it a fantastic game, but I got to bring it in with a Nationals fan, Snoop, and then a huge baseball fan, Aaron, and a huge pitching fan, Aaron. And it was just such a great time. So thought I'd share that story. I think I might have shared that story when Eric and I were live on the Baseball Card Junkies live feed the other day. But it was fantastic, man. Oh, yeah. So the Snoop 12922 care package from Aaron was amazing. If you guys haven't watched that video, you should go check it out. So anything else you guys want to talk about with me while I'm here live? I'll probably stay on here for a few more minutes, answer a couple of more questions. David Myers says he would love to have a national somewhere other than the East Coast or Midwest, and he'd go. I don't think you're ever going to see a national other than Chicago or the East Coast ever again. And I think it's because the dealers don't want to, especially the vintage dealers, they don't want to have to transport their cards across the country. And there's a lot more vintage on the Midwest and East Coast than there is in California. There just isn't a lot of vintage out here. I don't think vintage is nearly as popular out here either. And I have a theory for that. And the theory is that Major League Baseball was not west of the Mississippi until 1958. And in 1958, the Dodgers and Giants both moved out to California. But before that, Major League Baseball wasn't here, so you didn't have like baseball fans on the West Coast in the 50s and prior like you did on the East Coast. Baseball had been around for years in the 50s on the East Coast. And for that's my theory on why I think vintage is not nearly as popular. And you don't see vintage cards out here either like you do in the Midwest and East Coast. It's because there was no Major League Baseball out here. So, and my dad, he told me he didn't start collecting cards till 59, and that's because, of course, the Giants moved out here in 58. So anyways, that's my little thoughts on vintage and why I think the National will never come out to the West again. You know, Ron, I think a West Coast show, that would be cool if there was like a West Coast National, like there is on the East Coast. So I hope, okay, so Ray from Philly says he hopes we don't get Gabe Kapler as a new manager. I'm assuming you're talking about the Giants. And Ray, if you would please comment on why. Maybe, I don't know why you wouldn't want us to have Gabe Kapler. I'm sure you have a good reason. So I'd just like to know why. Dave Meyer says vintage isn't popular here. I'm in Vegas. Yeah, I mean, Vegas, I could see why vintage wouldn't be popular in Vegas. Vintage Oddball Card says he thinks I'm right about West Coast vintage. Yes, you're obviously being a vintage collector and living here on the West Coast. I don't know. Have you ever had that conversation with anyone, vintage oddball collector? I mean, I've never really had that conversation with anyone that can confirm that that's why. It's just my own personal opinion. So I don't know if vintage collectors out here really talk about that. So Ron Fig says he lives in Vegas too. So Dave and Ron, maybe you guys could do a compilation video if you guys are out locally. It's always awesome when local YouTubers get together and they meet up or they discover that they live next to each other. And Ray says Kapler is not good. Well, I don't think, to kind of piggyback on your thoughts, Ray, I don't think Farhan is going to make a bad decision. That's the general manager of the Giants. He is a very meticulous, thought out person. He thinks things through. And I really think that he's going to make the right decision for his vision on where he sees the ball club going and his style of management to kind of complement his style as a general manager. I think he's going to get a manager that's going to complement that. And so we'll see what happens with the Giants' managerial position. Hot Corner Collection says, other than Joey Bart and Yaz, is there anyone else to collect or check out in the Giants? I mean, you got the old school guys like Mad Bum and Posey, of course. But if you're talking about young ball players, oh, man. I don't think, I wouldn't collect anybody else. But, I mean, and the thing about Mike Yastrzemski, he's not young. So I don't think he's ever really going to have a big hobby following. When you look at the back of his cards, the guy's like 28 years old. So, but Joey Bart would probably, if you're going to collect one prospect from the Giants, it's definitely Joey Bart. So vintage is huge in the Midwest, absolutely. I mean, you got like Chicago and Detroit and St. Louis. You got all those teams that have been around forever in the Midwest. So I guess there's going to be the All-Star Fan Fest in 2020. Where is the All-Star Game in 2020? For some reason, I don't know. And then sports fan Colton Wong was just awarded the Gold Glove Award about 10 minutes ago. Well, congratulations, Colton Wong. Yeah, I guess. Oh, okay. So Mike Yastrzemski, is Steve? Are you saying that he is 29 years old? Because yeah, I mean, he may have had a birthday since the off season started. And Held Ramos is a prospect for the Giants. I mean, Heliot Ramos, yes, he is. Based on other vids I've seen, he's gaining steam. We'll see. I mean, I'm not a big prospector, so I'm not the guy to ask about prospect cards, but Heliot Ramos is definitely did pretty well for the Giants in his 2019 playing time. I think he took over some playing time from, he got some good playing time. And I think that's part of the reason why Panic is no longer on the Giants. So we'll see. So you guys must be asking. Cubs guys are talking with each other, asking who they collect here. Oh, okay, okay. The last, okay, is it Anaheim? Okay, the All-Star game is in Anaheim. I saw Ron Fig mention something about Anaheim. Okay, so that's cool. Hey, what's up, Snoop? 12922. I told the story of of us watching the World Series with Aaron Davis, Snoop. So that was awesome. I know Snoop is going to be busy all day on the road today. So he was telling me last night he's going to be watching those hour-long videos today. So there is I know a lot of us guys, we do love those hour-long videos when we're either sorting cards or we're doing something, and we can have them on in the background to kind of keep us company. So Ryan and Ron say, "What's up to Snoop?" Yeah, man, that was so awesome, man. Think Blue, what's up? Love all you guys' videos in the National in Chicago. Yes, we did. We documented that pretty well. We did a good job. So National League MVP. When is that announcement coming out? About a week from now? That's a good question. Guys, comment. Who do you guys think will be the National League MVP? We got Ron Fig says Bellinger. The LA guy, I mean, that's a great guess. Bellinger, absolutely. I could see him winning the NL MVP. Ray from Philly says Bellinger. I think Yelich would have had a great shot before he hurt his knee, but there's no way he's going to get it. Rendon. So we got another vote for Rendon. And so we shall see. Pete Alonso, yes. God, that guy had a fantastic rookie season. It'll be interesting to see if Pete Alonso can, stay dominant in 2020. A lot of times you'll see a rookie absolutely tear it up, and then when the league figures out how to pitch to him, they have a tough time. They're sophomore. They call it the sophomore jinx. Pete Alonso is way under the radar, and it's interesting. Yeah, why? Look at the contrast between Pete Alonso in 2019 and Aaron Judge in 2017. They basically had similar seasons, but Alonso just is not nearly as popular as Judge was in 2017. People were just going apeshit for Judge, but Alonso, I mean, people want his cards, but not the way that they wanted Aaron Judge cards. And I believe Alonso is probably, in my opinion, he's going to have a better career than Aaron Judge because, one, I don't know this for a fact, but I think he's younger than Judge was in 2017. And also, he doesn't have that as big of a body. He's just not like, I don't think that he's going to be as prone to injury as Judge. Judge is just so big. It's always been, I've always said from the very beginning that there's no way he could sustain a long career because his body is just so big, he's going to wear himself out. Typically, those real big guys just don't last as long. When you get in a 6'6", 250, 260 pounds, I mean, just all that torque from swinging and moving around in the outfield, and your body just can't take it. Okay, I guess they were both 25-year-old rookies, which I didn't know for sure. I don't collect Pete Alonso. I don't know much about his age or anything. But I believe he will when both their careers are said and done. I think Pete Alonso is actually a better talent than Aaron Judge. My opinion. That's just what I think. So. Hey, Henry S., what's up? Henry, I will go out and buy every single one of your rookie cards if you break in at 44 into the major leagues. I would love to see Henry S. break in at 44. I think you'd be a fantastic rookie. So Phil's fan says, what's up? And he's saying, hope we're doing well. We are doing fantastic. So me and my family, we're doing fantastic. So thanks for checking in and the comment there. So I guess we can have one more topic of discussion, guys, and then it's time for me to eat breakfast. I'm starting to get hungry. So if anybody has a topic they want to talk about, hang out with, let's see. I'll just kind of read your comments here until I find a topic I think is good. The Ultimate Topps collection of Giants. So Steve wants to know. And this would be a very quick, I mean, it's a yes or no. Nate, are you working on the Ultimate Topps collection like Mike O? And the answer to that is no. I'm not doing that, but that would be a fun project. I think the 52 Mays would cost a lot. Well, I know for a fact it would cost a lot of money to pick up. I did finally get the, maybe that was just the Topps only, but no, I don't plan on doing every Topps Giants card. Maybe someday if I win the lottery, perhaps. So Hot Corner Collection wants to know how many Lincecums I have. If you count the ones that are sitting in Redmond, Washington, aka COMC, I probably have about 270 Lincecums, but in hand I have about 210. I'm still waiting for a topic, guys. I'm just answering quick questions that you guys have here. Dennis Quaid, yes, he was the rookie. That was a great story, by the way. That movie was great. That one guy, the high school coach, the high school pitching coach or high school manager, or whoever he was, that actually his team encouraged him to become or at least try out to make it to a big league team, and he actually was successful. Super cool story. Vintage Oddball Cards wants to know, are there any Bonds minor league cards? The answer to that is yes and no. There are no Bonds pack issued or regular size minor league cards. There is one postcard from 1985 that was produced from somebody, and that's the only card of him in a minor league uniform from his minor league playing days. So the answer to that is yes and no. There is a Bonds minor league card. It's a postcard. Two of them have popped up on eBay in the last 5 years, and both of them have sold for over $300. And yes, they sell for a lot of money. And I think if the Bonds card collecting community was aware of what it was when it popped up on eBay, they would sell for significantly more. But they tend to sell for $300 and pop up maybe once every 5 years. I would love to get my hands on one. And it isn't a baseball card. It's more of a postcard that was produced to be like, kind of be collected as a baseball card, but isn't really intended necessarily to be a baseball card, if that makes sense. Kind of like the Dick or the Perez Steel cards, from back in the day. Are the Chong? Okay, so Henry S has a good question. Are the Chong minor league uncut McGwire sheets legit? And the answer to that is no. Those cards are massively reproduced. There are a lot of reproductions. Those cards are not legit. Don't waste your money on them. I mean, if you could pick them up for cheap, fine, but they're not legit. They're going to be reproductions. Do I have any memorabilia? I don't have any game used memorabilia. I don't really collect memorabilia. I mean, I have a few autographed posters and a few autographed baseball cards and stuff like that, but I really only collect baseball cards, and the reason why is I don't want to hoard of just stuff. I don't have room for it, and I don't like having a lot of stuff, with the exception of a lot of baseball cards. I'm just one of those people. I just don't like accumulating a lot of stuff. Plus, memorabilia is expensive. So the main reason why I don't collect memorabilia is because it is bulky and it's expensive, and I don't enjoy it as much as I enjoy cards. So I'm going to allocate my hobby or my funds for the hobby towards cards and not memorabilia. The memorabilia that I do have every last piece that I have has been given to me, with the exception of one poster that has a Bonds and Dennis Eckersley autograph on it. And then, I mean, but yeah, I don't collect memorabilia for those reasons. And I think with that, unless someone comes up with a quick, cool topic for us to discuss, I'm going to get off here. I have been on for the better part of an hour, which kind of surprises me because it's a Monday morning, but I guess there's demand for people to talk baseball cards on a Monday morning, which I think is awesome. So I appreciate everybody coming on here, hopping in. Just fantastic to kind of see everybody that hopped in. So thank you. Good time, guys. And that's going to be it for now. So let's see here. I'm going to show off a card here, to kind of do my little outro. And I'm going to show you one of the cards that came in the blaster box that my wife got for my birthday. So until next time, guys, as always, happy collecting.